What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about XRP today and Compound. XRP at the request of Smooth Operator, and Compound at the request of Mr. John Speed. Smooth Operator, what's going on, my man? Happy to talk about XRP for you. And John Speed, I don't know if you've done a request before. Maybe if you have, maybe it's been a second or something. But hello to you too, and hello to everybody watching. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I know I haven't really gotten into it at all, but if you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. We're gonna get into this. If you'd like to request a coin, if you'd like to request a stock, I do requests openly. You don't have to pay for them. You just leave a comment on YouTube. You can join the Discord. I'll leave a link in the description for that. Leave a request there. And I see to them very immediately. Both of these requests came in the last 24 hours. They might have even came in today. So I say within the last 24 hours, like 18 hours ago was yesterday, right? So that's what I mean whenever I say today too. But without being more confusing with my words, if you have a coin you want me to do, feel free to request it, and I'll give you my 2 cents worth, man. Just looking at it overall, man, what I love about XRP is it's got, you can actually use the monthly chart on it, right? And the fibs don't really look to be respected too much on this, but that's, very, very long ago, so that kind of makes sense. Let's see if these more immediate fibs are. Yeah, look at that. That's beautiful, right? Bounced right off the 618, double bottomed off it, kind of you held it to. Nice, really nice. Broke above your 382, psych, back below it. You're finding a little turbulence. I bet you do get above it, and when you do get above it, you'll probably make a straight run up to that dollar area. Genuinely, I do expect you're going to find more turbulence there, but when you break that, it's gonna be on to prices a lot higher. You're going to be pushing for new all-time highs. But this is the monthly chart. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. When you look at the monthly chart, you're looking at at least 4 months, if not more likely 6 months to a year and a half. It takes time, man. It really does take time. I don't think that it'll take 6 months to get up here, but maybe it might be before the halving, it might be after the halving, but something like that, anyways, what I do like about XRP is that it is above its 50. It's above its 50 on the monthly, which is nice to see. You are coming down, but right now I think the RSI looks nice on the monthly. The RSI on the monthly is always a little tricky. It's weird, man. I feel like it doesn't respect the same kind of rules, honestly. But the 50 across all time frames is significant. Holding it as resistance, as you can see here, holding it as resistance before. Now you're above it. That's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. The weekly in itself, you were in this uptrend and you've broken out of it, and now you kind of have these lower highs. You might be getting ready for lower lows, but I don't think you will get lower lows. Here you are on this week. You have 18 hours left. You did go down a lot, but you're coming up. You're only down 7.5%. You could come up enough to where you bounce off the 50 here, because the way this RSI works, right, if you look at it, right here is this current week. If you go back 1 week, it's right here. So this is where your pivot is. This from here to here, that part of the RSI is moving. It'll continue to move until the week is closed. So if the price goes up just a little bit, like 2% or so probably, maybe 3%, but something like that, you'd look like you're getting ready for a bounce off the 50. And you don't have to bounce right off the 50 like you did here. You can go a little bit below it, but either way, it's still produced good results, right? You still got good results afterwards. All in all, just looking at this for what it is, you're you are very much in a channel. I know I've talked about this a few times, and I like to draw these lines on here because I think they do help. Let's see if we can go back even further. I wonder. Something, I know they're not clean, you guys, trust me, I know they're not clean, but that's kind of the point. I want to illustrate a little bit of an idea here. Maybe a little bit like that, a little bit more parallel. Anytime you're above this line, it's been a great time to sell. Anytime you've been below this line, it's been a good time to buy, right? That's why I'm not doing it completely perfect and clean, because all in all, most of the action is happening between this. And yes, it disrespected it a little bit back here, but it did respect it here, and has continued to respect it, right? I just stand by the idea that with these lines, and I never have them, they're always probably a little bit different, but you can kind of eyeball it and see, right? Like if I take this off, if you try to draw them yourself, anytime you're below this line, it's a good time to buy. Anytime you're above this line, it's a good time to sell. And I mean, like, quite literally, right? All the prime times to sell have been above that line. So very good trading range. I think XRP is going to be stuck. We're going to be range bound in this, but instead of it being a death spiral, it's kind of like an alive spiral, right? It's like it's going to take you upwards with moments where you come out of it either way, right? But not by much. I think you're going to be doing that. You're going to be crawling your way all the way up to $1, probably all the way up to $1, and then whenever you break that, you might break this channel to the upside. And it's not. I feel like a lot of people, whenever you see channels, like whenever you see ascending structures, you always expect it to break to the downside, but you can absolutely break it to the upside. That's completely possible, right? Even here, if you look at it, you kind of had maybe that's a bad example. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. But yeah, man, I'm not too big on the weekly RSI right now. I am much bigger on the price action. The price action really does look nice. Along with coming up a little higher to bounce off the 50, you would be holding this green line as support, which would also be nice. The green line is the 123 weekly moving average. It's now, if we look at this, it's now the daily moving average, but it's the 123. And you did close below it yesterday. If you can get back above that today, that'd be nice for the week and for the day too, showing that this is kind of like, psych, we're going to go back up. And also, if you go up today, close with green day, you're looking like you're bouncing off the oversold zone, which would also be a nice thing. So I do kind of expect that you move up, though if you move down, don't be too discouraged. I very much doubt that you would go below this line here. I very much doubt that you'd go below this low here. You'd probably form a higher low if you were to go down, and you're at 57 cents kind of right now, 56.89. Maybe you go down to like 52.5 cents, something like that. Maybe previous area of resistance over here, maybe you go to like 53 cents, but I doubt that you go too low. And then you're probably going to make your next high. You're getting ready one way or another. You're definitely at the bottom of this range. You've already hit the bottom of it, right? And you're making your way up for the next high that will likely take you above this. And where is that? It's at 75 cents. You're on your way. It's not going to happen immediately, right? Whenever you're at the bottom this time, it took you 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, just under a month to do it. But yeah, maybe sometime in February, I would expect probably even by the end of this month, actually, you're going to be above 75 cents. And where would you go? Actually, let's draw the fib. Let's see, top to bottom here. That's not right. There we go. Probably up to 83 to 95 cents. 83.5 to 95, 96 cents even, yeah. Probably sometime in February. That would be my best guess, yeah. I'm not worried about the daily RSI at all. It definitely is like weaker looking, right? You're in the weaker zones, but you have the opportunity to bounce off this area, and you've done it a couple times, right? You bounced here, you were a little bit lower, you were here. You've bounced off of this area before. You don't actually have to touch it, so I'm okay with that, man. I really don't think that you're going to go below this low. If by some weird instance you do go below that low, I don't think it would be by much. Let's look at the 4-hour. If it'll load, there we go. Yeah, the 4-hour, look at that, man. That's productive. That's beautiful. Nice bullish divergence, yeah. You do have hidden bearish divergence, but this it looks like it's winding up. You're probably going to get a decent move. I really do think today, man. I think today you're going to be closing. You're going to get exactly what I was talking about in the beginning. You're going to get a move that takes you back above that green line, probably back above 59 cents, maybe even above 60 cents. Bounce off that 50. You're going to close the week right at that 50, and it's going to look like it bounced there. Really strong, really good stuff. So, yeah, up is all I got to say about XRP. Spent enough time talking about that, though. Let's move on to compound. I do actually, real quick, want to talk about XRP because I know I'm probably going to get a lot of questions about this too. Where's it going to go by the end of the cycle? First off, nobody knows. Anybody who's pretending to know is exactly doing that. They are pretending because nobody knows. But if we were to go off of the all-time high to the 2020 cycle lows, right before the last Bitcoin halving, which is kind of interesting, right? This was before the Bitcoin halving. You're at the low. Here we're before the Bitcoin halving, a little bit further out, but still March. Yeah, like a couple more months further out than this was, but we're a lot more productive than we were here, right? We've been in an uptrend for a while. Where here we were in a downtrend. So I think this does speak to the idea that we are going to see new all-time highs with XRP. And where would the minimum targets be? I think it'd be anywhere from about $8.60 to, I know it sounds crazy, man, but potentially $28.50. What would that do for the market cap? It's gonna be nuts. It's definitely gonna be nuts. But let's see. Maybe the $28 might not happen, but let's see. So 30.8. I'm going to use the Google calculator. Yeah. Google. Yes, I defined fintech. I'm not ashamed of it at all. I didn't know what it actually meant, man, but I know now. It means tech for fins on a surfboard. No. What was the number? 30.8. There we go. 30.8 billion. And if we were to see this thing grow all the way up to here, that'd be a 49.7x. 49.7. Yes, it says 48, but a 100% growth is a 2x, so you always add one. Whenever you see the hundreds, you always add one. So 49.7x would give it a market cap of $1.5 trillion. By the end of this cycle, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's going to happen for XRP, man. I personally, I know that they got a draw with the SEC. They didn't beat the SEC, guys. They had a partial victory and a partial loss. They were found guilty and they were found innocent of certain things. Look it up. That's the truth. They did not beat the SEC. But that's still kind of like a win, right? They didn't get their butts whooped, so that's actually kind of a win in a certain respect. But let's be real here. I don't think that's going to happen. The 1-4-1-4, a lot of cryptos do like their 1-4-1-4. Let's see what a 25x would do. Get this same kind of 30.8. Nope, 30.8 times. I'm sorry, was it 26x? 25x. 770 billion. I could see that. That could happen. That's still a little bit high in my opinion, but I would focus more on this $8.60 range to $14 range. Probably somewhere in between these areas is where you're going to go. If I really had to guess, that's probably where the high of this cycle is going to be. Let's see if we've got any other fibs that line up with this, and then we'll move on to compound. Yeah, you got a deep extension here at the 1886 right in between these. 1618 is right below the 1272. You could stop at like 646, which is still great for XRP, but I don't know, man. I kind of have a feeling you're going to go higher than that. The 2272 all the way up here with the 1618, that's kind of interesting, man. I just don't see XRP being worth, I mean, if any crypto was to be worth $1 trillion, I mean, right now it's Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin would be worth $1 trillion first in line, but I suppose Ethereum and XRP might be next in line for that. I know there's talk about Solana. I heard some people making predictions. Ben Armstrong's making a prediction that Solana will hit a $1.25 trillion market cap. I think he's kind of crazy on that. I think he's hitting that Solana juice a little bit too much. But maybe, man, nobody knows. Nobody knows the future, right? It's just predictions. I can be wrong. Maybe it doesn't form a new all-time high. Maybe it does break down to lows. I don't think that's going to happen, but I really would look at this $8.60 to $14 range as a real possibility, personally. And then off this relative fib here from this high to this low, the last cycle high to last cycle low, the 1886 all the way up at about 1080, that could make sense too. So somewhere in between there, that 1886 is right in the middle. So that's all I got to say. So let's move on to compound. Beat the hell out of XRP, man. Like really, just spent a lot of time on that. Compound has been around since 2020. Yeah, from all-time high to all-time low. Let's see. Yeah, man, we're just consolidating. We've been in this range. It's kind of beautiful, right? Like this is a nice accumulation phase. You have a very flat top. Is this an inverted roof? Oh, what? Okay, hold up now. So I know the screen's white. I know. I'm sorry if I'm blinding anybody. But Thomas Bolkowski, you got to make a nighttime option for this thing, man. Maybe he has one, and I just don't know. Let's see. I don't see it. More? Nope, more patterns. Okay, anyways. We're looking for an inverted roof. Inverted roof, hey. Yep. Looks like that, man. It's a bottoming pattern. It can be a continuation too. Let's see. Price trend can be any direction leading to the pattern. Has a horizontal blah, blah, Uptrend, let's see. The best performing inverted roof patterns appear after a sharp rise, so that would be a continuation pattern. The best performing ones, apparently. So in that sense, this wouldn't be the best performing ones. But I don't know. It might not be a roof, right? Because you do have a little bit of these on an outlier, but it kind of looks pretty damn close. And if it's not, nonetheless, I still think that this is an accumulation phase that we've been in for a long time. You know, a lot of people are busy chasing cryptos that have already broken out of their bottoming zones. I think that this is the time to look for gems like this that have yet to break out. Like, yes, compared to September at $34, we're all the way up here at $50. Yes, it's up a little bit from its, and even further back, it's up from $23. It's up a lot from its lows. But when you break out of this range, man, when you break out of this little box that you're in, it's going to be phenomenal. It's like genuinely, it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to happen very fast, and it's going to be like a nonstop train. It's going to do exactly what it did last time, right? It's just going to move up very quick and swift. Where are you going to go? I had the fib on there and I deleted it, man. From top to bottom, I very much would expect you're going to blow straight through that 382. You're going to blow through it, man. You're going to go all the way up to the 618, $224. Here you are sitting at $50.85 right now. And you probably, you could stop. You could find a little resistance right there, right? Or maybe you go into the white zone, into this range, and you stop somewhere between 292 and 224. Either way, it's going to be explosive. And is it going to happen now? Maybe. Is it going to happen in a couple months? Maybe. It doesn't have to happen right now. We still are in this accumulation phase. I just think that when we finally do, and man, I thought it was happening last week. I really did. Like, this was looking good until it came back down, and here we are now. But until we get a week that closes above about $63, we're still in this range. And you're probably wondering, why aren't you drawing it here? That's not the breakout point. It's up here. Maybe you're right, but the way that I'm looking at this is like, this is a whole range. This was a fake out. So I'm going to put the breakout point not where the fake out was. I'm going to put it where like most of the touch points are, where we're actually finding resistance. And I'm not putting it on the wick itself. I'm putting it on the weekly closing point, which is also kind of where, actually right where that low is there. So but if you want to be very, very specific, maybe there, maybe $70.64. I'm personally going to get excited when compound breaks above $63. Now, enough about that. Let's look at the more immediate term stuff. Are we going up? Are we going down? Because right now, regardless of up or down, I think we're still consolidating, right? Rejecting the 60, the bullish area of control, that's not a good look. The RSI in itself does have higher lows and higher highs, which is a good look. We could absolutely go back below the 50, form another higher low, and then go up. So that would imply further downside is not only possible, but I would say likely with the look that we have right here. I'm sorry. That was a weird, it was like a hiccup burp if you heard that one. We're in the bearish area of control on the daily. I would think we go lower. I would. Probably not a lot lower. Like, I don't think that we'd go down to $40, but we could go down to 45. We might even go a little bit below this low. We might go a little bit above this low, but nonetheless, I would expect we see prices below this green line, below $48 again. And then from there, just continue to hug this range, man. Continuing to encroach on it. And when we get a week that closes above that, that's when things are going to be exciting, man. That's when it's looking like we're going to be breaking out in a very short amount of time. So looking forward to that. Right now, it doesn't look like it's so close. I would bet, probably over the coming days, coming weeks, we're going to move down, probably still consolidate and stuff, but maybe as we get closer to the halving, I kind of would expect that we'd break out before the halving, but it doesn't have to happen. And we could, we still are in this range. We absolutely could go all the way down to $35 or lower even and still be in this range. I personally don't see a scenario where we would go below $40. If Bitcoin dumps, sees like a kind of flash crash, that can affect the rest of the markets, and compound is not necessarily exempt from that. So we could see a flash crash that takes us back down to these low points, but at that point, I think that a lot of people would be caught off guard anyways across the market. So what I'm trying to say is, if you want to buy compound, you're interested in catching this pop that's coming, don't throw all your money into it. Not financial advice, but don't throw all your money into it right here. Dollar cost average. There's nothing wrong with that, right? If you want to throw all your money into it, like maybe wait for a breakout, do the breakout trade, maybe do it now, whatever. Just if it sells, if it sees a flash crash, because I very much do believe the Bitcoin ETFs are going to get denied, and I think that will impact the price negatively. We could see a flash crash in Bitcoin and then just sell-offs across the market. I think we'll get rapid and immediate recovery. I think it'll happen down to the downside just as fast as it comes back to the upside. If we don't recover fast, we'll crash down, consolidate, be boring, and then come back up pretty swiftly. But what I'm trying to say is, if you buy here, do not sell on the crash. You do, like, not financial advice, but don't sell lower. Buy more. Buy more. If you put your whole bag in here, you have no more cash to buy more, suck it up, sit on your hands, deal with it, because this impending move to the upside is impending. It's coming. So just be patient. And that's also why, again, like, even though, yes, it looks like we're getting close to that breakout point, you never know what can happen. There's nothing wrong with dollar cost averaging. If you really want to, if you really want to put it all in here, go ahead. If you take a little nibble and it does go up and it breaks out, you can still throw it all in below like $70 probably, because you'd get that breakout. You would get that convincing breakout before it makes its move all the way up to that 220 to 290 area. So enough of that, man. I hope I made sense. I hope I didn't go off on the deep end too much, but I do think Compound is going down from here a little bit. I think XRP is going up. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I think both of these coins have new all-time highs in store for them by the end of the cycle for sure, man. I actually think Compound, you know what, I said I was done, but I always like to finish it off with this, because, man, Compound has some ridiculous price targets, man. Top to bottom, 2,500 to 8,886. Absolutely, that price is possible. I'm not going to go through and do the math like I did on XRP. I've done it enough times, but that market cap is 100% achievable for Compound by the end of the cycle. I know it sounds crazy, because here we are at $51. That's a lot. I know it sounds crazy, but watch it happen. Watch it happen. At least there. Several thousands of dollars is in store for this thing, and it's only worth 51 right now. So take care. Bye-bye. See you on the next one. Hit that like button. Bye-bye.